This is a lesson looking at symmetry and reflections, how they're related, and taking the concepts of symmetry and reflections that we have learned and developed over the previous years and applying them to more structured math concepts, specifically applying them to the coordinate grid and what happens when we reflect points, shapes, and lines around the coordinate grid and what symmetry looks like on the coordinate grid. If we look at this problem here, we could have something say reflect point A across the dotted line. In order to visualize this, let's imagine that this is a person standing here and we're looking at them from above and there's a big mirror in front of them. If you're standing here looking at a mirror, it would appear that there's another person standing on the other side of the mirror looking at you. It looks like you yourself are standing inside the mirror looking at yourself, and the distance that this reflection is exactly the same as the distance we are. So this is 3 units. Person A is 3 units from the mirror, so the reflection would also appear to be 3 units away from the mirror. This is exactly how reflection works on the coordinate plane. So we had one point that was at an x value of -6 and 7. And it has been reflected to our new point of -6 and 1. So think about the mirror being the point of reflection. The location of our reflection will always be an equal distance away from our mirror. When the person is not, or when the mirror is not a straight line away, or when the mirror is on an angle, the property works the same way, where we could find a line perpendicular to the mirror and measure this. Another strategy that we can use, because sometimes it may be difficult to find the length of this line to determine exactly where this goes, an alternate strategy we can use is we can count the distance across and then reflect that distance down. So we can go take the corner and go that way. So for this point here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left, and then we need to turn at the mirror where it reflects and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And this is going to be where point C is. And now if we think about that line that I was nervous about drawing earlier, we can still see that it is a straight line from C to C. So this would be our reflected point from C to C. It went from -2 and 9 over to -8 and 3. All right. The reason that I would like to talk about reflection in terms of points first is when we go to attempt to reflect a shape, the shape is really just 3 points connected by lines. So if we wanted to find the reflection of this triangle, which can seem daunting, what we really need to do is just focus on reflecting each of the points following the strategies we just used. This point M is going to reflect somewhere up here. So let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have M prime. We just use this to show M prime that it's a different point, but it's related to M. N, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we have N prime. And O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. O prime. And if we draw in our new shape, now we can just connect the dots. So this is a case of where we have a shape that has now been reflected. I'm going to color it in so we can see it a bit better. Hey, It's a little confusing because it's overlapping our mirror. This is something that can happen when we have math reflections because we're not dealing with a physical object in a physical mirror. In real life, you can't put your arm through the mirror and have some reflect back to you. But when we're dealing with math and the abstract, we can have the mirror or the point of reflection laying across our object. So this point is reflected to this side of the mirror because any part of our triangle that was on the left side of the mirror will be reflected to the right, and then all of our stuff that was on the right side of the mirror has been reflected to the left. So it ends up with the shape coming up here and flipping over the line. That's what we end up with this reflection. And then if we were to find and list the coordinates of these 3 points, we could do that to answer the question.